Saints Philip and James, faithful witnesses and pillars of the early church. This reflection is prepared by Father Abe Francis, pastor at St. Jude Church, Grand Rapids, Michigan, USA. Saint Philip of Bethsaida. Saint Philip was born in Bethsaida of Galilee, the same town as Peter and Andrew. He was one of the first disciples called by Jesus. "Follow me," Jesus said, and Philip followed. John 1:43. Immediately after, Philip brought his friend Nathanael Bartholomew to Jesus, showing his zeal for sharing the good news from the beginning. Philip often appears in the Gospel of John. At the feeding of the 5,000, Jesus tests Philip by asking where they might buy bread to feed the crowd. John 6:5-7. Philip replies pragmatically, showing human limitations, but Jesus reveals divine abundance. Later, during the Last Supper, Philip famously asks Jesus, "Lord, show us the Father, and that will be enough for us." Jesus responds, "Whoever has seen me has seen the Father." John 14:8-9. Highlighting the unity of the Son with the Father and deepening the disciples' understanding of Christ's divinity. According to tradition, Saint Philip preached the gospel in Phrygia, modern-day Turkey, and was martyred in Hierapolis by crucifixion. His life reveals the transformation from a simple follower to a bold proclaimer of the truth. Saint James the Less, son of Alphaeus. Saint James the Less is called the Less possibly to distinguish him from James the Greater, the son of Zebedee. He is identified as the son of Alphaeus and is mentioned in the lists of the 12 apostles, for example, Matthew 10:3. Tradition holds that James was a close relative of Jesus, sometimes referred to as the brother of the Lord. Galatians 1:19, which, in Semitic terms, could mean cousin. He became the first bishop of Jerusalem, playing a key role in the early Christian community. He presided at the Council of Jerusalem, Acts 15, where the church discerned how to integrate Gentile converts. Saint James is also traditionally attributed as the author of the Epistle of James, a New Testament letter rich in practical Christian living, with emphasis on faith and works, the power of the tongue, and caring for the poor. He was martyred around 62 AD, likely by being thrown from the pinnacle of the temple and then stoned. His leadership and integrity earned him the title James the Just among early Christians. Lessons from their lives. 1. Zeal in evangelization. Philip shows us that true discipleship naturally leads to sharing Christ with others. 2. Growth in understanding. Both apostles demonstrate how following Jesus deepens our faith and spiritual maturity over time. 3. Faith and action. James teaches that belief in Christ must be shown in our deeds, especially in care for others. 4. Leadership through humility. James led the Jerusalem church with wisdom and meekness, rooted in prayer and charity. 5. Courage in witness. Both apostles gave their lives for the gospel, teaching us to remain faithful even in persecution. A question for meditation: do I follow Jesus with the same zeal, humility, and willingness to serve and witness as Saints Philip and James, even when the path leads to challenge or sacrifice? Saint Philip and James pray for us.